Most landlords I talk to are doing the same thing. The rent comes in, the rental expenses go out, and whatever is left, if anything, gets used to top up the shortfall or sits in a checking account doing nothing in particular. It feels responsible, it feels normal and orderly, and it is quietly one of the most expensive habits a Canadian homeowner and landlord could have. Today, I am going to walk you through what happens when you take one rental property, pair it with the right mortgage structure, and run two strategies simultaneously. No complicated portfolio, no second or third property, just one rental, and the math that most landlords never get to see. I'm Erica V., mortgage agent, Smith Manoeuvre certified professional, landlord for more than 20 years, and someone who is passionately sharing Smith Manoeuvre and rental cash damming strategies to homeowners across Canada. So let's say you're a homeowner in your mid-40s. You earn a solid income, somewhere around $100,000, $105,000. You own your primary residence with a mortgage of about $410,000 left, and a few years ago, you bought a rental condo that you've been managing ever since. Now, the rental income brings in about $2,400 a month. Your rental expenses, mortgage on the rental, property taxes, condo fees, insurance, and maintenance, they total about $2,000 a month. So on paper, you're cash flow positive, $400 a month. So you're definitely not struggling. You're actually in a really strong position, but your money isn't connected to a strategy, and that's costing you more than you probably even realize. First, let's start by looking at what that picture looks like if you just kept doing what you're doing. Scenario number one. Doing what you've always done. This is that picture without any strategy. You make your mortgage payments, you collect rent, you pay your rental expenses, your home appreciates, and your rental property appreciates too. And at the end of year 20, your net worth reflects your home equity and whatever you manage to save along the way. Now, it's not a bad outcome, but it's also not a strategic one. And the gap between the picture of what's actually possible is significant. Now, let's add the first layer. So scenario two is the Smith Maneuver on the primary residence. Now, if you've seen my Plain Jane Smith Maneuver videos, you know the foundation. You set up a readvanceable mortgage on your primary residence. Every month as your principal pays down, that same amount becomes available on your HELOC, you borrow it back and invest it. The interest is tax deductible, the portfolio grows, and the mortgage converts. That's the base strategy. No rental income or property involved yet. Just the primary residence being used intentionally and intelligently. Already a meaningful, different picture. Same income, same house, same rental. Just the primary mortgage being structured intentionally, that's the Smith Maneuver working on its own. Now let's add the rental property. Scenario number three, the Smith Maneuver plus cash flow damming. My favorite, because this is where it gets interesting. Right now, your $2,400 in monthly rental income goes straight to paying your rental expenses, money in, money out. It does make sense, but the rent never does anything except for service the rental. The cash flow dam changes that completely. Instead of using the rental income to pay the rental expenses directly, you redirect that $2,400, the full rental income, as a prepayment against your primary residence mortgage first. Then, because your readvanceable mortgage automatically creates HELOC room equal to every dollar of the principal reduction, you borrowed $2,000, equivalent to the rental expenses, off of the HELOC to cover those expenses. That remaining $400 of your surplus gets invested. Interest on the HELOC of that $2,000 borrowing is tax deductible because the funds are being used to service an investment property. That's the critical piece. You're not just paying rental expenses anymore. You're borrowing to invest in your business, which changes the tax character of the debt entirely. And the $2,400 prepayment hitting your primary mortgage every single month, on top of your regular mortgage payment, that is an aggressive accelerator of everything. Look at that progression. Doing nothing or the same thing you've always done is $650,000 of net worth at the year 20. Doing the Smith Maneuver Plain Jane alone at the end of year 20 is a $900,000 net worth. But doing the Smith Maneuver Plain Jane plus the cash flow dam is a $1.1 million net worth improvement. Same income, same house, same rental property you've always owned. The only thing that changed is the structure and the strategy. Now let's talk about what's actually happening here, because that's what really matters. The reason that Cash Flow Dam is so powerful when layered in with the Smith maneuver isn't just the tax deductibility of the HELOC interest, it's the $2,400 rental income being used as a prepayment hitting the primary mortgage every single month. That prepayment accelerates the principal reduction, which creates more HELOC room faster, which means more investment opportunity, which means more investment capacity sooner, which compounds on a larger base for much longer. The rental isn't just cash flowing now, it's actively accelerating the wealth building engine on the primary residence at the same time. That's the combination that most landlords never access, not because they can't, but because nobody has shown them the structure that makes it possible. Now, here's a few things to note. Cash Flow Dam works for proprietoryship. That means unincorporated rental properties or businesses. If your rental is held in a corporation, the rules are different and this structure doesn't apply in the same way. Talk to your accountant. CRA cares about tracking. That means clean account separation, proper record keeping, and documentation that clearly shows where the borrowed funds went and why. This is not complicated when it's set up correctly from the start, but it absolutely needs to be set up correctly. And the readvanceable mortgage on the primary residence has to be structured to support both strategies running simultaneously. Not every mortgage product does that. So setup matters more than anything else here. Here's what I want you to take from this. You don't need a second rental. You don't need higher income, and you don't need to change your lifestyle. That rental property that you already own, connected to the right mortgage structure, becomes the engine that accelerates your primary residence conversion and builds your investment portfolio at the same time. That is what one rental property can do when it's structured intentionally. If you own a rental property, or you're thinking about buying one and you want to understand what this structure could look like in your specific situation, that's exactly what I'm here for. Book a call using the link below and let's chat. And don't forget to stick around, like this video, and share it with someone you know, because there is a lot more to come out about how to make your mortgage work harder for you. Mortgage Free with Erica V.